May I remind you that trading is risky and not suitable for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Welcome to QuantBox Daily. Today is November the 2nd. Bum, bum, bum. Fed meeting. All right, so here we are, euro dollar. So yesterday in the stop look and correct session, one of the traders asked me, like, what do you do about the technical data on QuantBox? And I'm going to be honest with you, like, I don't use QuantBox for its technicals because I'm a good technical analyst. I can do that myself on the charts. But what I don't do, and what I haven't got the time to do, is collate all this data and then put it into scores and then add that up every single day to go and track down all of the news data to calculate the seasonality across all these pairs, right? To give a summary of the fundamentals, to get the retail sentiment, to put all the COT data in one place, like that stuff. Wow, that is tedious, man. That is tedious. Also, you know, the resources that you use for that data, what happens if they change? What happens if the data is unreliable? No. The quantitative analysis of QuantBox is what I use it for, right? The fundamental data. So, for example, you can see now euro dollar. We've been looking at euro dollar for well, I mean, since we started these sessions, right? We're looking at all the dollar pairs and all the yen pairs since we started these sessions. All of these other beautiful tools I have not spent time on, and all these other currency pairs and asset classes, because you know, I'm just focusing on the dollar pairs and the yen pairs. But if you've got QuantBox, then you can of course go into all these other pairs and all these other tools here, and you can then start using that information. But we've been looking at the dollar pairs and the yen pairs for a while now, and looking at the euro dollar. Look, it's very nice seeing this spread of data, and just look at that red. Absolutely no reason to be buying. Now, of course, if you do follow the technical analysis of QuantBox, you can always just verify this stuff, but you don't need it. You've got pivot points, you've got moving averages, you've got price action, you've got enough information at your fingertips to do everything that you could possibly want to do with your technical trading. But having a fundamental bias is where it all starts, right? So euro dollar, we're still bearish. I don't see any reason to be buying. Now you can see 0 on the retail sentiment. Reason for that is because right now there's a very, very clear balance between long and short. Okay, that's fine. You could take that in consideration. You might decide, no, I need to have my retail sentiments in one direction or another in order to trade. But to be honest with you, I have enough information elsewhere to give me a very clear bias on the euro dollar. Okay. Today, we got some high and low tier news coming out of Germany. We've got some medium and high tier news coming out of France as well. The euro area, some high tier news, some low tier news coming out of France, Italy, and Spain. And then later on today, we got ourselves, let's get to it. We got ourselves, Fed interest rate decision, Fed press conference. Okay. So today is a Fed day, right? Right. All right, cool. So we'll see what that does to the market. What are you expecting? Did you read the last meeting minutes? Did you look at any change in the last meeting minutes? Has the language changed? Has the sentiment changed? Has the dot plot changed? Has the voting balance changed? Those are the things you're looking for in terms of change. The nice thing is, I don't see anything over here that indicates any change. The ECB meeting was last week. Nothing changed. Today's the Fed. Do you think something's going to change? Currently, inflation sitting at 8.2%. Do you think the Fed's happy with that? Do you think they're done increasing interest rates? 10.7% in Europe. Wow, that's high, eh? 2% interest rate. When last did you see a 2% interest rate in the ECB? Pound dollar Also, you can see here across the board, just negatives. Okay. So still bearish on pound dollar. Look at that, 10.1% inflation in the Great British Pound. Don't forget Super Thursday this week. So you can see there's no pound news out of the pound today, out of the UK today. So just pure technicals today. You are still a bear. We'll take a look at that now. We've been waiting for a lower low, lower high. USD CAD, there's a bit of mixed data here. And I think we can see that if we look at the charts at the moment, we can see that sideways move. We can see that mix of data. So personally, I'm looking at euro dollar and pound dollar and saying, well, I've got no contradictions there. Whereas here, I've got a bit of mixed data. Seasonality, -1. Wow, look at that seasonality. Okay. So no news out of Canada today that we can see. Nope. Aussie USD, a bit of mix, a bit of green, some reds in amongst our score summary. Like, boom, big move up from a seasonal perspective. Okay. Last 5 years, all-time average, current year average. Okay, cool. So nothing out of the Aussie, but that was much later. Okay. Nothing's changed there. Still bearish. Again, still looking at these two over here and saying, everything's cool. New Zealand dollar USD is now a buy. Okay. Lots and lots of green. Inflation of 7.2%. Interest rate 3.5%. You know what's happening, right? We're getting back into carry territory, eh? We're getting back into carry territory. It's a pity that the Kiwi yen is so high, isn't it? It'd be nice to earn some swap on that one. Maybe next year's pivot points. Okay, so this is Aussie yen, still neutral. CAD yen, still neutral. Euro yen is a buy. Okay. That's interesting. I'm looking at this and saying red. I'm not going to buy that. No, sir. They're too high for me right now, the yen pairs. I'm looking for opportunities to sell. Pound yen neutral. Kiwi yen is also a buy, and a beautiful swap from the Kiwi yen. That 3.5 versus a minus 0.1. The carry. Let's take a look at our charts. We'll start with Aussie. We'll start with euro dollar. So euro dollar, we're in this trade from Monday, and currently we're chilling down here. Okay, I went through the trade in yesterday's session, and I haven't moved my stop to break even. I've got no reason to. If price can come down and make a lower low, then make a lower high, then I can move my stop to map. So you can see now we've currently bounced off here. We're sitting over here. I'm not doing anything with this today. I'm just managing. I mean, you can see from so far as price is concerned, daily, we're currently not really at resistance. We came down, we closed up. We are at this wick over here. And if you consider that to be resistance, price sort of ducking under, but the red candle didn't. Euro dollar, you can see on the 4-hour, we're not at resistance. The 4-hour candle closing down. H1 at a 21 EMA. Completely out of position. I feel that the best time to have sold this was yesterday. You could have, I mean, I actually think the day before, really. Because the day before you had price up here. Okay. You did get a pullback to resistance yesterday. Yesterday at New York Stock Exchange. You could have done that then. Right now, I think it's a bit late. Gonna let this sucker roll. Then pound dollar. Yesterday, we were looking for, just look how different that is. So we're looking for price closing a resistance. Now, interesting enough, you can see here, left-hand side, looking at yesterday's green gap, ignore the 21.55. They're dead to me. You have got resistance left-hand side because it's the most horrible resistance ever. It's just price. What I'm ultimately looking for is I'm looking for a lower low, lower high on the 4 hour. You can see we didn't get it. We got that break of resistance. Okay. And we're just sort of consolidating. Hey, Super Thursday, absolutely in position for a move all the way out to the profit taking zone down here. Sure, absolutely. Just give me some kind of lower low, lower high. Just to tell me I'm not going to consolidate anymore. Just something that just says like, you know, we're going to at least move down much lower. I'd love to come all the way down here. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't know what's going to happen. We seem a bit high. A lot of profit taking zone between us and this, but it could be a November thing, maybe. I'm not too sure. But right now I'm looking at this and saying, it's just a bunch of candles clumped together, not doing anything, right? I'd love to see, unless of course you did that. Aha, there it is. Now, the problem with yesterday was that I was not looking for a sell because price came down and closed down. But you can see there, if that was your indication yesterday at New York Stock Exchange, then boom. So then, you know, lower, lower, lower high. I'm not seeing an H1 right now. Although you do have all of these candles coming up into this resistance over here. Price coming up in the sell zone of the day. This is Asia, of course. And then price coming down. Okay. Sneaky, sneaky. So I think yesterday New York Stock Exchange would have been great, but of course you didn't get the trade signal from the daily time frame. You only got it from H4. But if you saw that, if you saw price closing that roll reversal, boom, you're in. Okay. And now you're waiting to see if you're going to be rewarded for your effort. If you aren't in, lower, low, lower high. I see closing of those wicks over there. Perhaps. We'll have to have a look and see how that all sets up. Tricky price action for sure. Okay, so New Zealand dollar, we're leaving that alone. It's a buy. We're not going to buy way up here out of position. Aussie USD was a sell. I'm still chilling at the support down here. I'd like to come up higher for a sell. Like up there was great, but the problem was I didn't get a roll reversal up there. And you can see you got this move yesterday. Like all the pairs set up in this way. Shot up yesterday, New York Stock Exchange. There was news coming out. Closed there. So again, if you sold there yesterday, cool. You were over here. Okay. In and around there at a R2. And now you're just waiting to see if you get rewarded for your hard work. But in terms of today, with the Fed meeting up ahead, I'm just going to chill, let my euro dollar do what it needs to do. And, you know, it's it's a week with big news. So I'm okay with just chilling and relaxing and just, you know, whatever I got earlier in the week is what I've got. That's just how it is. Some weeks are diamonds and some weeks are stones. USD CAD, you can see just bouncing around. We have got this month's profit taking, this month's buy zone over here, which is cool. I spoke about this yesterday. Looking for some kind of indication of trend. We don't have that right now, so I'm leaving this alone. Perhaps that's the mix of red and green on that chart in QuantBox. Yen pairs all neutral. I mean, Kiwi yen, I'm not buying up here. You must be joking. Not a chance, even if I'm getting that carry. You know, even if I'm getting that carry. So rather trade that in position. Again, I showed you the yearly pivot points yesterday or the day before. We are way out of position for buys. When those yen pairs start opening up, man, there's going to be some beautiful trading going on. But until then, I'm going to stick in my euro dollar. If you're in pound dollar, cool. If you're in Aussie dollar, cool, 100%. I mean, one of those three. Each of them yesterday, 12 o'clock, came off a level of resistance. And you could be in that trade right now. So what I want you to do is stay safe today, stay focused, stay disciplined, stay patient. Okay. Just remember, big news event coming out later. If you aren't any trades previously, then just chill, I think, is the best thing to do today. Although, if you do see an opportunity, make sure you verify it. If you're selling, sell at roll reversals. If you're buying, buy at roll reversals, verify it. Make sure that you're trading a trend somewhere, and you should be okay. But again, I think the better thing to do is just sit back, let the Fed meeting take place. You had opportunities yesterday, sell nice and high. If you didn't take that trade, then just say, okay, cool. Well, next time I'll pay more attention. I'll get it next time. Let it go. All right, guys, good luck with the meeting later. Good luck with your trade today. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow when we find out what happened on these charts. Take care, my friends.